I get started with this review, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to our military personnel and to all the men and women and people around the world and around this country who have given so much and sacrificing for this country. We should all say it a lot more often than we actually do. I definitely should say it a lot more often than I do, but know that your sacrifices and your hard work and your dedication to this country does not go unnoticed. Anyone who has served in the Army, any veterans, from the bottom of my heart, truly. Thank you. With that being said, let's talk about Thank You for Your Service, which is a military drama that focuses on Miles Teller and a few of his friends. This is based on a book written by David Finkel, I think. It's directed by Jason Hall. And what this movie is this is basically a character study on PTSD. It basically follows military personnel coming home after a really long tour in Iraq and how they integrate themselves back into civilian life and the struggles that they have dealing with all of the mental issues that come with, the trauma of war. As I said, Miles Teller is in this movie. He plays a character named Adam. This also focuses on a few of his friends. One of them in particular, his name is Belu Koala. Belu Koala. As far as military dramas go over the past few years, we've seen a lot of them come and go. We've seen some hits, we've seen some misses. And I gotta say, Thank You for Your Service did a really good job, at least for me personally, of taking all of the cliches and the tropes of this genre of military PTSD. We gotta focus on the struggle back home. And it kind of subverts some of them, and it kind of flips some of it on its head. Right from the start, I was really interested in how they were telling the story. It would have been really easy for them to start off right in the thick of the war, right in the middle of the incidents that are going on, and then play catch up the rest of the movie, like just have them focus on the aftermath and focus on what comes next. But instead, they focused on what comes next first, and they spent really 90% of this movie detailing how they moved on or how they tried to move on after all the tragic events and traumatic events that happened in Iraq. I really like that approach because it immediately gets you engrossed in the characters. It immediately makes you want to spend time with them, and you keep hearing references throughout the entire film to this incident that happens and a whole bunch of stories that happen. You get little pieces and clues here or there, but they don't actually show you what happened. They just kind of talk about it, and then they just kind of show how these incidents have affected these characters. The performances are outstanding all around. Miles Teller does really great work here. He's really committed. His friend also, that I completely butchered his name, is Belu Koala Kolau. BK. I'm gonna call you BK for this review. You were great. In fact, you pretty much stole almost the entire movie. To me, what really struck home for me in this movie was the fact that they portrayed these veterans as people. They didn't try to Hollywood the shit up. Oh, I mean, these are people. These are real people. You really feel that through in their performance. But inside and in the head, they're really messed up. And it's not like they go through the whole movie going, no, I'm perfectly fine. Don't worry about me. It's like, no, they're people. They're smart. They know. They can tell shit. They're like, yeah, definitely there's some stuff messed up with me, but I'm trying to work through it. This movie does shed a very small light on veterans and some of the struggles that they've had to deal with in this country, and some of the things that they're still dealing with today in terms of not really getting the benefits and the care that they really need. There are a lot of veterans out there, a lot of veterans that need help, like the veterans that were portrayed in this movie, and this movie does shed a small light on that. I would have liked that light to be a little bit bigger, like engulf the issue, but as far as that's more of a nitpick than anything. I can't really bitch at the movie for that. As far as drama goes, this is very well executed, very well directed. As far as the emotion goes, the highs and the lows of this journey, you're in it, man. You're with these characters. When they try to hit you for the feels in this movie, they don't just try to hit you with, okay, here's a sad song. Okay, now you're supposed to feel sad. No, you feel sad because of these characters and because of the performances and how grounded and real it all feels. Like I said, they make these people feel like actual people. As far as issues go with the movie, I do think the movie jumps around quite a bit from a narrative standpoint. It has moments in the story where it jumps around and tries to go to different things, and sometimes you feel like they skip a few scenes. Like, you feel like they skip from A all the way to C, and you feel like, okay, where's B going? It's not a huge issue, it's just a nitpick. It's something that I noticed while I was watching the film. There were some moments where I'm watching it and I'm going along, and narratively it's flowing, and then all of a sudden it seems like we skip a couple of steps and then we end up in a different place. In that sense, I feel like the movie is a little bit jumbled in terms of its execution of its plot, in terms of how it paces the stuff out. There is a subplot that emerges late in this movie that has to deal with a drug dealer, and no spoilers, but I really wasn't that invested in this subplot, mostly because because I knew exactly how it was going to turn out. I feel like you could have gotten the characters to where they got to in this movie in a different way, and this subplot really wasn't needed to get these characters to this point. But again, it is inspired by true events, so maybe they're just borrowing from real life. I have no idea. I haven't read the book that this movie's based off of. All I know is that in the movie, the way that it was executed, I wasn't that invested in it. And Thank You for Your Service is a really heartfelt, emotional, well done, well directed, well acted military drama. We've seen a lot of these. I know they're kind of a dime a dozen nowadays, but I feel like this one is definitely worth your time. Can't quite say that I loved it, but Man of Steel Silver Age is exactly where this movie belongs. Yeah, the sacrifices that you guys made, it does not go unnoticed, definitely by me. So no outro for this one. I'm just gonna say bye. Oh, I'll also leave you with this. Justice is coming. The Justice League tickets are on sale, and yes, justice is. Yes. All right, that's really all I wanted to say. All right, peace out, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.